people to remain independent, stating that this principle is the foundation of all his policies. And the President awards the highest honor for service to Maldivian nationalism to the late Hussein Salahuddin. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to PSMNEWS. I'm your host Malak Ahmad Fayaz. Now for the news in detail. President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu and First Lady Sajida Mohammad attends the National Day 1446 flag ceremony. The special function held at the Republic Square commenced at 600 hours. The President and First Lady were accompanied by Vice President Hussein Mohammad Latif, his spouse Aisha Tafreen Mohammad and other senior government officials. Upon their arrival, they were warmly welcomed by the Minister of Defence Mohammad Ghassan Mamoon and the Minister of Divehi Language, Culture and Heritage Adam Nasir Ibrahim. Moreover, the ceremony was attended by Speaker of Parliament, Chief Justice, Cabinet Ministers and ambassadors to Maldives, government officials and school students. The ceremony featured a flag hoisting activity followed by a special prayer that highlighted the significance of the occasion. The event concluded with a performance of the Maldives' national anthem by the Maldives National Defence Force MNDF military band. National Day commemorates the heroic efforts of Muhammad Taqur Khan in liberating the Maldives from Portuguese rule. This day serves as a solemn reminder of the resilience and sacrifices that have shaped the nation's independence. President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu emphasizes the intrinsic desire of the Maldivian people to remain independent, stating that this principle is the foundation of all his policies. The President made these remarks while addressing the nation during the National Day celebrations. In his speech, President Muizzu highlighted that National Day is a moment for reflection on the country's past, an opportunity to gather renewed courage to build its future. He pointed out that history has repeatedly shown the Maldives to be under the watchful eyes of foreign powers. The nation's heritage, he said, is a testament to the relentless efforts of their ancestors to defend the country against external threats. The President noted that the Maldivian people have always been heroes of freedom and it is in their nature to remain free. He stressed that these policies are built on the very foundation, which is why foreign troops are not stationed in the Maldives today. He also mentioned the deployment of the latest technology to safeguard the country and the introduction of a special system of nationalism aimed at fostering education and awareness. This initiative, according to the President, is crucial for maintaining the nation's sovereignty. President Muizzu further highlighted the historical importance of the seas as the lifeblood of the Maldivian people. President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu awards the highest honor for service to Maldivian nationalism to the late Hussein Salahuddin. The accolade was presented during an official ceremony at Tarubaruge held in conjunction with the National Day celebrations. The Medal of Honor was accepted by the late Sheikh Hussein Salahuddin's grandson, Ahmad Shihab. The President recognized Hussein Salahuddin for his outstanding contributions to the advancement of the nation's core principles, including religion, language, heritage, and culture. Salahuddin's commitment to enriching Maldivian intellectual life and promoting national service through knowledge dissemination was particularly noted. The highest honor for service to Maldivian nationalism is the President's highest award granted to individuals who have made exceptional contributions to Maldivian nationalism. Recipients of this honor receive a shield of honor. Hussein Salahuddin, renowned as one of the most innovative poets in Maldivian history, was a pivotal figure in upholding the nation's nationalistic values. His work on narrating the biography of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, demonstrates his deep knowledge and fluency in both Divehi and Arabic. Hussein Salahuddin began his education at the age of 14, arriving in Malé to further his studies. The highest honor for service to Maldivian nationalism is the most prestigious accolade awarded by the President, recognizing exceptional service to the nation. The National Award of Honor have been conferred to 7 recipients, while 10 others have received the National Award of Recognition. The awards were presented during a special ceremony celebrating the National Day of the Maldives. This year, 5 of the 7 National Award of Honor recipients had previously received the National Award of Recognition. Each recipient of the National Award of Honor was presented with the Medal of Honor and the Badge of Honor. President Dr. Mohammad Moise also awarded plaques to those who received the National Recognition Award. During the ceremony, President Dr. Moise congratulated this year's recipients of both the National Award of Honor and the National Award of Recognition. The national awards are given by the government to acknowledge and encourage individuals, civil society, organizations and businesses contributing to sustainable development for the benefit of the country and the society. The recipients were selected by the National Awards Committee, a body appointed by the President to determine the recipients for these prestigious awards. President Dr. Mohammad Moise officially inaugurates the College of Divehi Nationalism known as Divehi Gaumiyatugeswar. The college, dedicated to teaching the principles and pillars of Divehi nationalism, was established by the Ministry of Divehi Language, Culture and Heritage, following an announcement by Minister Adam Nasir Ibrahim in January this year. The inauguration ceremony held on National Day marked the official launch of the college's 5 key areas of focus: Divehi language, history, digital technology, heritage and art. A dean has also been appointed to oversee each of these disciplines. During the ceremony, the members of the College Council were formally handed over their leadership roles with President Dr. Mohammad Moise, presenting them with their certificates of appointment. Speaking regarding the college, Minister Adam Nasir Ibrahim announced that the first subject to be taught at the college will be history, with a unique approach that distinguishes it from other institutions. The college aims to offer courses on the origins of the Maldivian people and other topics deeply rooted in the nation's identity. The Ministry of Divehi Language, Culture and Heritage is actively working on several initiatives under the guidance of President Dr. Moise to revive and promote national heritage. These efforts include the establishment of the College of Divehi Nationalism and a research center, the restoration of the National Printing House, and the launch of the national-level Divehi language awareness programs. President Dr. Mohammad Moise reveals that the College of Nationalism will evolve into a legally empowered institution dedicated to national heritage. In his statement, President Moise highlighted that over the past 9 months, the National Center for Heritage Research has undertaken a global study on identity preservation involving over 180 countries. The research has equipped more than 800 experts from diverse fields of science and technology with fundamental principles of nationalism. The President emphasized that the College of Nationalism is set to become a pioneering institution in the Maldives, operating as a membership-based network focused on examining Maldivian heritage, culture, and history through scientific perspectives. He added that the goal is to integrate Maldivian nationalism into the daily lives of the people. He underscored the intrinsic connection between identity and freedom, asserting that one cannot truly appreciate freedom without valuing their identity. Additionally, he pointed out that defending sovereignty is crucial for safeguarding freedom. Further, President Moise described this initiative as vital for the Maldives, stressing the need for citizens to understand the implications of national issues through knowledge and reason. He noted the National Center for Heritage Research will be responsible for conducting research and translating significant scientific literature into Divehi. The President expressed hope that the college will bring transformative changes with nationalist leaders providing guidance across various sectors of Maldivian nationalism. Minister of Divehi Language, Culture and Heritage Adam Nasir Ibrahim emphasizes President Dr. Mohammad Moise's dedication to restoring the original identity and skills of the Maldivian people. Speaking at the National Day ceremony held at Darubaruge, the minister noted that the President places significant importance on reviving the ancient virtues identity and skills that define the Maldivian heritage. Minister Adam Nasir Ibrahim expressed his appreciation for the President's commitment to these values, highlighting the growing public interest in reviving the pillars and principles of Maldivian nationalism. He underscored the importance of rekindling knowledge of the nation's identity and history. As part of these efforts, a National Center for the Research of Maldivian Cultural Heritage has been established under the National Project for the Restoration of Maldivian Nationality. The center is currently preparing to initiate research focused on culture, heritage, and history of the Maldivian people. National Day commemorates the liberation of the Maldives from Portuguese rule and serves as a reminder of the enduring spirit and resilience of the Maldivian people. The Privatization and Corporatization Board (PCB) issues a directive to state-owned enterprises (SOEs) to hold the issuance of salaries and allowances in dollars. This measure is part of a broader strategy led by President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu to reduce SOE expenditures and address current financial and economic challenges. The PCB circular emphasizes the government's commitment to economic recovery and outlines several cost-cutting measures. In addition to ceasing dollar-denominated salary payments, the PCB has instructed SOEs to limit new hiring to essential positions only, maintain current salary and allowance levels, and restrict overtime to critical situations. Other directives include suspending intra-atoll and international flights with a preference for virtual meetings with international clients and suppliers. Officials traveling for important official purposes are advised to avoid first class if the flight exceeds 6 hours and to minimize expenses on trips initiated by foreign parties. The PCB also encourages the use of cost-effective travel options for both domestic and international travel. Furthermore, SOEs are instructed to refrain from participating in seminars or fairs unless there are clear direct benefits. The PCB has urged SOEs to adopt renewable energy sources, adhere to annual procurement plans and budgets, limit purchases to essential items, and reduce spending on corporate social responsibility, CSR, and sponsorships. Director General of the World Trade Organization (WTO) praises the Maldivian government for its efforts in creating a business-friendly environment for trade activities. In a virtual meeting with Minister of Economic Development and Trade, Mohammad Saeed, Okonjo Iweala recognized the Maldives' significant progress in meeting its obligations under the WTO Trade Facilitation Agreement. She extended her congratulations on the successful launch of the Maldives National Single Window Trade-in, which she noted highlights the government's commitment to providing a more convenient environment for business operations. The National Single Window project, launched on September 3rd, began in 2014. Although the project faced delays during the previous administration, the current government accelerated its development. This initiative, a collaboration between the Ministry of Economic Development and TradeNet Maldives, aims to offer seamless access to essential services through a unified online platform. The ministry expressed optimism that Trade-in will address several business concerns and enhance trade facilitation. Trade-in was developed after extensive consultations with the economic sector and Maldivian business leaders. TradeNet conducted several comprehensive meetings to ensure the platform meets the needs of the business community. The Malé Water and Sewerage Company Private Limited (MWSC) announces the commencement of the work on the largest water tank ever to be installed in the Maldives, located in Hulu Malé. The project is part of the company's ongoing efforts to ensure water safety in the region. The installation was officially inaugurated at a ceremony held at the Hulu Malé Operations Center by Minister of Construction and Infrastructure, Dr. Abdullah Muttalib, and Managing Director of MWSC, Abdul Mateen Mohammed. The tank, which will be installed by MWSC employees, is set to significantly boost the water storage capacity of Hulu Malé to 22,600 tons. Speaking at the inauguration ceremony of the project, Abdul Mateen highlighted that the new tank will increase the water storage capacity of Hulu Malé by 80%, thereby enhancing water security. He emphasized that ensuring water security and increasing production capacity are among the company's top priorities. He also noted plans to install 2 larger tanks in the capital, Male City, in the future, and noted that critical water security projects in the Greater Male region are expected to be completed by mid-next year. MWSC stated that the project, with an estimated cost of $2.2 million, is scheduled for completion by February next year. German automotive giant Volkswagen says it could take the unprecedented move to close production sites in Germany and threaten further job cuts as its savings plan stalled. Rising costs at the car maker were cutting into profits, leaving Volkswagen facing particularly significant challenges, the group said in an internal memo seen by AFP. Volkswagen said in the note sent to employees that in the current situation, even plant closures at vehicle production and component sites can no longer be ruled out. Unions and government officials responded with alarm to the idea of plant closures in the group's home market, a decision never before taken by Volkswagen. The announcement by one of Germany's blue-chip companies adds to concerns for Chancellor Olaf Scholz after the domestic economy has struggled in recent months. Volkswagen CEO Oliver Blume was quoted as saying in the memo that the European automotive industry is in a very demanding and serious situation. Blume said that the economic environment became even tougher and new competitors are entering the European market. He added that the difficulties were particularly acute in Germany, which is falling further behind in terms of competitiveness as a manufacturing location. The CEO said that the company must now act decisively. Volkswagen last year announced plans for a €10 billion savings program and has flagged cuts to its workforce over the coming years to improve profitability. But the group said further measures were now required after disappointing results published in August that showed a dip in profits. Rising costs and cooling demand in China also meant the group had to lower its profit margin forecasts for the rest of the year. Despite the cost-saving measures already announced, the current developments in the automotive market and the German economy demand further action. The company's board had determined that the brands within Volkswagen AG must undergo comprehensive restructuring. The need for greater reductions in staff meant that the company was compelled to terminate a job protection agreement that had been in place for the last 3 decades. Workers' representatives reacted angrily to the announcement, saying that they would resist the changes at the car maker. Volkswagen's board had failed, Works Council chairwoman Daniela Cavallo said in a statement published by the union IG Metall. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu faces mounting international and domestic pressure after killing in Gaza of 6 captives, with US President Joe Biden saying he is not doing enough to secure the release of hostages. Britain said it would suspend some arms exports to Israel, citing a clear risk that they could be used in a serious breach of international humanitarian law. Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant said he was deeply disheartened by London's decision, while the Premier said he sought forgiveness for failing to save the latest hostages killed. Hamas will pay a very heavy price for this, he said during a televised press conference, as he rejected making any concessions in Gaza ceasefire talks. Abu Ubaidah, spokesman for Hamas's armed wing, the Izzuddin al-Qassam brigades, said remaining hostages would return inside coffins if Israel maintains its military pressure on Gaza. A statement said new instructions had been given to militants guarding the captives on what to do if Israeli troops approached. In Washington, Biden met U.S. negotiators working alongside Qatar and Egypt to try to secure a truce deal that would free the remaining hostages in Gaza in return for Palestinian prisoners held in Israel. Asked by reporters if he thought Netanyahu was doing enough to secure a deal for the release of hostages, Biden replied no. Netanyahu said Israel must retain control of the key Philadelphia corridor on the Gaza-Egypt border, a significant sticking point in negotiations. Hamas has to make the concession, said Netanyahu, whose critics have accused him of prolonging the war to stay in power. Israelis were gripped by grief and fury after the military said the bodies of 6 hostages, all captured alive during Hamas's October 7th attack on southern Israel that triggered the war, were recovered from southern Gaza. A strike announced by the trade union seeking a hostage deal brought parts of Israel to a standstill, although some cities were largely unaffected. Aryna Sabalenka cruises into her 4th consecutive US Open semi-final, while Taylor and Francis set up a blockbuster All-American showdown in the Final Four to delight fans at the Arthur Ashe Stadium.
Okay, photo please.
Hard-hitting Belarusian Aryna Sabalenka reached her 4th straight US Open semi-final on Tuesday as she rolled past China's Zheng Jingwen 6-1, 6-2. Sabalenka beat Zheng to pick up her 2nd Australian Open title earlier this year and used the same playbook at Arthur Ashe Stadium, where she dominated the 7th seed with her trademark mighty forehand. Fresh off winning the Olympic title, Zheng appeared drained and was missing one of the best weapons in her arsenal as she only made 44% of her first serves. Sabalenka got a head start when Zheng dropped her serve with an unforced backhand error in the 2nd game, and the 2nd seed went up another break when Zheng sent a forehand into the net in the 6th game. Sabalenka kept the pressure up in the 2nd set, where she put up just 6 unforced errors, and Zheng dropped her serve in the 1st and 5th games after costly backhand winner at the net on the penultimate point, and she clinched it with an unreturnable serve. She has lost only 4 service games through the tournament to emerge as the firm favourite to add another major title to her 2 Australian Open trophies after losing the Flushing Meadows final to Coco Gauff a year ago. Sabalenka will next play American Emma Navarro. Fritz claimed a tight first set in a tiebreak after the 2 towering players wowed fans with a mixture of powerful baseline blasts and drop shots and winners at the net. Microsoft lowers its cloud computing unit revenue forecast in a bookkeeping move, shifting money to its productivity software business.
The high-profile production starring Hollywood's top 2 leading men is one of the highlights of the 10-day Venice Film Festival. The actor's red carpet appearance did not disappoint, with both playfully sneaking into the risers among the paparazzi as fans streaked and waved. Ahead of the premiere, Clooney said it felt second nature sparring with Pitt in the action comedy about 2 professional fixers forced to work together. The 81st edition of the world's oldest film festival has been awash with stars this year, starting with Nicole Kidman and Angelina Jolie, Pitt's ex-wife, and next week's Lady Gaga and Daniel Craig. In the production from US director John Watts, whose credits include the Marvel Studios' Spider-Man trilogy, Clooney is called in to help a woman in a swanky penthouse hotel room deal with a dead young man on her bedroom floor, until of course Pitt arrives. Clad in nearly matching black leather jackets, the pair soon realize the job is bigger than they imagined, involving city prosecutors, Albanian drug dealers, and even a wide-eyed college student they chase through a snowy New York.
That's all the news we have for today. Thank you all for watching.
දිවි රාජ්‍යයේ ෆහුරුවෙරි කවුමි දුවස්
मती दर्ज होदा फरातक रईसुल जमहूरिया देवा खास इनाम देहा 26 मती दर्ज होदा फरातक रईसुल जमहूरिया देवा खास इनाम की इल्मा हुनरा उफद्दुन तरिकमुगे